freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, even if they use it to cover up for idiots like Anthony Fauci. Now, because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, many of them rejects from around the world, these Americans, they and their progeny, created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro show will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so, we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, Bulldog, play it. They came and they conquered. My DPW guys, they were there today and got the job done like they always do. Thank your DPW worker today, wherever you live, because they came and took care of business for you somewhere this week. Thanks, guys. And in fact, I was coming out as they were collecting. So that was great. I got to say hello. But it's garbage day in the Hill section, and I love it. I love it. Fauci. Somebody texts in, and this is an interesting point. Republicans bringing Fauci in to testify just reminds the voters on how Trump screwed up the COVID response, which led to him being voted out in 2020. Well, he didn't really screw it up. I mean, he listened to Fauci, and Fauci was lying to him. Now, the interesting part of the testimony and him taking the fifth, the Biden pardon, and two of the most sickening people on the planet. But the Biden pardon goes back to 2014. Now you wonder, well, why would that be? By the way, that's the Hunter pardon also, Hunter Biden pardon, back to 2014. A 10-year look back on the pardon. Well, that's because in 2014, the other god of the left, small g, was Barack Obama. And Barack Obama, for as mediocre and poor a president as he was, he understood that gain-of-function research, or at least I think so, this could have been a mutual scam, by the way, but he understood gain-of-function research shouldn't be done in the United States and signed an executive order banning it. Well, Fauci found a workaround, which is to fund a company which would then fund the Wuhan Institute. And his buddy's company did it. So basically, one god, Anthony Fauci, broke the law of another god. Now, if Obama was a man, he would step up and say he should have never done what he did. But he won't, because, see, they're on the same team. And that's all that matters to any of these people. Unbelievable. But yeah, the conflict of the Democrat gods, Fauci and Obama. Oh, and by the way, they have a new one. Their new god is Mamdani. Unbelievable. This is who they are. This is how disgusting they are. All right. We got to take a break. Navy guy says, I turn the volume down every time that guy, who is Kevin James, screams. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. I love that. It fires me up every day, Navy guy. Come on. Get with the program. Get fired up. Get fired up. We got a lot of work to do on this Thursday. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll come back after a little history, a little music, and then you at 570-883-0098 to call or to text. Now tell me, how many of you tried to reach that note with him? I know I did. I can't even imagine how horrible it sounded. But Frankie Valli hit it. And the Four Seasons, Murph tells us, this date, 1962, released their hit, Sherry. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. So the disgrace of Fauci is complete for anyone who has eyes to see. He's a criminal. Let's go to Mike from Bloomsburg on that very subject. Mike, how are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, good. All's well.
Great, great. And I hope your audience is doing well today also. Hey, you were talking about COVID and Barack Obama saying we can't do that in the United States. Well, that happened. What happened was down in North Carolina at a research laboratory, a technician was picking up one of the mice that they were working on this gain of function research, and she had it by the tail, and it turned around and bit her through her just little light plastic gloves, which was really bad. And for some reason, Obama recognized that and said, we are not going to do that in the country anymore. That research is done, just like you said. And then there was so much money involved, and it ended up in the Wuhan lab. Now, most of the people in the country were told, oh, it came from a wet market, right? We were lied to from start
He had to cover up because he broke the law.
Broke the law.
Yep.
That's right. And it was all about money. It was all about control and money. And I'm telling you, Bob, you know, your show intro, the one that says this great American country, I think you need to kind of change that a little bit. Great and declining, because that is the reality of the situation right now. You know, people are kind of blowing off the Democratic Socialists of America. No, you can't blow them off.
No,
number one,
that's the Democrat Party. And Mike, I say this, and it's very important for people. There are no normal Democrats right now. Think of anybody other than John Fetterman. And by the way, almost 90% of his votes are with the Democrat caucus. But
exactly.
Think of any issue where there's daylight between the Democrat Party, their leaders, and the Democrat Socialists of America. There is no daylight, except the Democrats, so-called mainstream, the old school Democrats, whatever fake name you want to give them, they pretend that they're not communists. The socialists, the socialists just say, yeah, we're communists. Here's who we are. And there's some refreshing part of that, even though they're mentally ill.
Bob, I just want to say this. You are 110% correct. There are no Democrat Socialists of America. They're Democrat Communists of America. Mm-hmm. Many of the people following them don't know that, but that's what they are. It's the same pattern that has taken place time after time over history, where the communists come in and take over and get control, and it never ends well.
Nope. It never has.
And
that's why I say Bernie Sanders is the dumbest human in America, because I think he actually believes that government control works. And he's a complete hypocrite on top of that.
You know, Bob, to say that is, to me, it's kind of hurtful to my ears, because I don't think that Bernie knows that he is that stupid.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's a complete ass. And I listen to him, and you get a kick out of him, and great imitations of him from various people, and he is just a joke. And if you don't know that communism doesn't work, there's something wrong with you. There really is. I don't know. Is it curable? Hopefully. But, man.
History is right. History is right. And the people that believe in the Democrat Socialist Party of America are wrong, because they do not understand what is happening to this country. We need a complete revamp. We need to get the millennials and the Gen Zs. They're twice as big as the rest of the baby boomers that are still alive. Mm-hmm. The baby boomers, in my opinion, own a lot of the responsibility for what's happening right now, because the baby boomers that were presidents, they're the ones that put all these laws in, and the baby boomers that supported them, that has turned this into basically a socialist country and have us on a glide path to doom. Mm-hmm. I mean, they call me Dr. Doom, okay? But the truth of the matter is, if you look at what's happening in this country and turn on the business news, even
Well, Mike,
business
you're
news,
100% correct, sadly, because look, and I don't care if it's Donald Trump and they hate Donald Trump. His policies are common sense across the board, and he gets complete, utter, ignorant resistance to everything. I mean, men in women's locker rooms and in women's sports, and there's resistance to that. That's insane. You go through the whole laundry list. It's insane. So there's a lot of goofy bastards out there, and they perform or form a big enough part of this country that their ignorance is dangerous for us.
it is. Bob, the last thing I want to say is we have to protect the dollar because the dollar is in decline. Interest rates, no matter what the Fed tries to do to control interest rates, that the market is going to determine the interest rates. That is why we have the inflation rate now, because other countries that used to believe us are starting to lose faith in America doing the right thing. And a lot of voters are starting to lose faith in America doing the right thing. And when the dollar declines, that's bad for everybody. It just results in inflation, higher prices, unemployment, poverty, crime, you name it. We have to protect the dollar. We have to get back to basics. And unless we do that, we'll have a steady decline, and we'll just be another also-ran country.
Yeah. Well, one of the saving grace at this point, and let me state the first part first. One of Trump's failings is that as a business guy, as a developer, he loves cheap debt. And there isn't any cheaper debt than the U.S. government's borrowings. And so he's been okay with that as a compromise with the Democrat Party and hasn't actually cut government. And we're at $1 trillion. Now, Biden didn't have a clue what he was doing, so that you can't even – he knew nothing about anything. But Trump knows what you just said. And the only thing saving us with these $1 trillion a year deficits, which are now accepted like it's nothing, these $1 trillion deficits, is that the rest of the world is worse than us. It's the only thing saving us.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And just to touch on Biden, he was the graduation speaker, 1977 at Bloomsburg State College. I was basically sitting right in front of him, almost the front row, and I'm listening to him speak. And I said to myself, there's only 100 senators in the United States, and this guy is one of them?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a dunce. I mean,
he really was a dumb
and it continued.
Yep. Unreal.
He was a tool.
And,
he was a tool.
And white trash. The whole family, white trash. All right, Michael.
Listen,
thank you, my friend.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
You have a good day.
9:33 on my Bacardo's watch, which means we've got to hear from our sponsors. And I'll remind you, you could catch this program on 103.1 FM, 9:10 a.m. in the Scranton area, northern part of this listening market, 9:80 a.m. in the southern part of the market. And you could get us on WILKnewsradio.com online or on your phone, or you could go to YouTube. WILK, Bob Cordaro Show, and Roach Supply is bringing that to you. The premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business. Did I say business? I wish I did. Visit roachsupply.com today, ROCHE. We'll be back. Our veterans tribute this hour, as with every hour, and this day as with every day, brought to you by John Basiliga. And it's Thursday, and that means we're thinking about going out tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, whenever. And we know that the Basiliga Hospitality Group is ready and waiting, and they're there to help us enjoy ourselves. 3 great bar restaurants, including the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, Far Street Tavern, on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Queen City Tavern, right on the main Drag and Elephant. Go to any of these 3 places, and you'll say, wow, this is great. And it is. And fun. And good service. And great food. And great drinks. The whole package. And coming soon, Coney Island Lunch. The legend returns. Right on Lackawanna Avenue in Scranton. Right next door. Named after his daughter, Reagan's Ice Cream Shop. Keith Burridge. He was just 72 when he passed June 29th. He was from Bear Creek. Born in Wilkes-Barre, he attended James M. Coughlin High School and served proudly in the U.S. Marines. He worked as an independent drywall specialist in the local construction industry for many years. Avid outdoorsman, fishing, camping, hunting, the whole package, country music. Sadly, he was preceded in death by his loving wife, Brenda. He'll be sadly missed by his daughter, a sister, a brother, nieces, nephews, and other family members, as well as many friends. Keith Burridge. John McGlone. He was 85 when he passed July 16th. He was living in Clearbrook, Virginia. He was born in Scranton. Proud veteran of the United States Army. He served during the Vietnam conflict, and he was there. Earned a Bronze Star, Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal, and other awards. 20 years of service in the U.S. Army, achieved the rank of captain. He earned a Bachelor of Science in History from Benedictine College and a master's degree in business at Central Michigan University. John and his wife, Frances Frankie Murphy, celebrated their 62nd anniversary just 5 days before he passed, July 11th. Surviving with his wife is a daughter, a son, sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews. John McGlone, our great veterans this hour, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by Montage Mountain, where the water park's in full swing, and so is the arcade in the lodge. Today, partial sunshine with a shower. Humid, it'll be 78 degrees. Tonight, a shower early, partly cloudy, low 60. Tomorrow, warmer with intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 86, low 61. Saturday, shifting clouds and sun, high 88, low 69. Sunday, rather cloudy, not as warm, but humid. A thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots in the afternoon, high 77, low 69. Monday, occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy and humid, high 81, low 59. More great days to get to the water park at Montage, where it's 68 degrees right now. The Trogs, Murph tells us this date, 1966, they had the #1 hit with Wild Thing. Oh, Bulldog, I didn't see this one. We got to finish with Hawaii 5-0. Yeah, let's finish with Hawaii 5-0. We should have probably started with that. Hey, maybe that fits into our theme, Bulldog, because it's instrumental. Let's open with Hawaii 5-0 tomorrow. All right? All right. He nods yes. We'll see if he does it now. Because I'm not going to remember, so it's up to him. But we'll finish with the Ventures. Murph tells us they recorded their instrumental for Hawaii 5-0 this date in 68. I loved that show. Didn't like the new version very much, but it was fine. Hypocrite watch. Okay. What did I tell you to be a leftist? What do you have to be? A liar and a hypocrite. So what does that make Paige Cognetti? A liar and a hypocrite. Well, here's her hypocrisy. Somebody called a publication called Notice is telling us, Paige Cognetti, her big anti-corruption campaign, remember that? Yeah, the one who gave $2 million to her campaign supporters? Yeah, that one. That Paige Cognetti, that phony, that hypocrite. Well, it gets worse, or at least continues on the same exceptionally low level, like slime below a rock. She's one of her big anti-corruption things. I won't take any corporate PAC money. I won't take any. But it turns out she does. And here's how she does it so she can continue lying on the campaign trail. She gets it from other PACs. So PACs that collect corporate PAC money, all right, they give her money and she gets corporate PAC money without saying she took it. This is the level of phony bullspit that you get from the left. This is it. It just epitomizes it. By the way, yesterday's news, which is all the newspapers owned by whoever they are, mayor and the council call for action. City officials pressure water company after 2 main breaks. Who do you think the people at Pennsylvania American Water Company, wherever they are headquartered, are feeling pressured today? God almighty. What do you do? See, and it goes back to the idiocy of the defense of Paige Cognetti for being out of town and doing nothing about either one of the water main breaks and not helping any of the downtown businesses, any of the downtown residents. Okay? There's the idiocy of defending that. And here it is what did Paige Cognetti do for the businesses downtown? Oh, she held a press conference. Oh, is that what she did? How'd that work out? She's done nothing for them. Literally nothing. Oh, yeah, she put herself on the camera. Okay, so the phony who takes corporate PAC money through other PACs says she doesn't take corporate PAC money. This is who they are. This is who she is. Phony as the day is long. It's disgraceful. It is disgraceful. Supporting her, there's something wrong with your thinking. There truly is something wrong with your thinking. And I just beg you, listen to the program. Try to listen now, not hear. Listen to the program, because we are the medicine and the antidote to idiocy. We'll take a break and be back. 9:45 on my Picardo watch. That's what I was waiting for. Love and Spoonful. Murph tells us this date, 1966. They moved from 21 to 7 with their hit, Summer in the City. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Yeah. On Paige Cognetti's website, campaign website, it says no corporate PAC money. As a candidate and member of Congress, I will reject the influence of special interests unless they're campaign contributors, she should have put. If they give me $15,000, I'll give them $2 million back. Well, actually, $2 million plus a $5 million grant. Yeah, no, the special interests, I'm against them, except when they give me money indirectly. Then I'm for them. My word. 9:50 on my Bacardo's watch. That means it's time for Bloomberg Money Minute, and we'll be right back. Murph tells us the Stones, this date, 1966. They moved into the top 10 charts at number 9 with their hit Mother's Little Helper. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. By the way, somebody had asked, they didn't know the word I was using, eponymous. Eponymous means that it's got the same name as me. That's all. The show has the same name as myself because we didn't think of anything brilliant to call it. So they just call it the Bob Cordaro Show. Anyway, yesterday I noticed in one of the papers, they unveiled a monument for Korean War vets in West Hazelton. I thought that was really neat. I'm not an art critic or anything, but there's a stone, and it says Korean War. Let us not forget those who fought for freedom and those who died for freedom is not free. That's what the stone says. The artist Sal DeFazio is depicted in a picture in the paper. And I thought that was really great. And it's at West Hazelton Veterans Memorial Park, Route 93 and Washington Avenue. And that's neat. I don't know, just something I wanted to mention to you today. By the way, somebody from either DPW or DPW family thanking me for the kind words. They're deserved. You don't have to thank me. I want everyone to thank you. I really do. And you think about a cold, rainy, or cold, icy morning, and it's your garbage day, and these guys are getting up in the dark and picking up what you don't want in the dark. And I'm telling you, for me, I feel like $1 million after I didn't have time to put the garbage cans away, which I'm a little embarrassed about this morning because I was running late. But when I bring those garbage cans, I'm like, I don't know, it just feels good. And these guys make you feel good. And they work hard to do it. You heard yesterday we played a little clip on Denzel Washington. What did he say he was? It was he was a garbage man, and he had some other government job, and he said, I prefer the garbage man because, it gave me the chance to finish the work as fast as I could get it done properly. So he gave a tribute to our DPW guys. And so, you don't have to thank me. I'm thanking you. I really am. And I hope everybody appreciates. You got our cops, we got our firemen, we got our DPW. They're the essence of a city or town. They truly are. And we like to thank them and remember them every day. Anyway. Somebody takes in, Bob, we don't have to take the truth from you about how great the country is. Just look at the World Cup fans that came here from all around the world from pseudo-socialist countries and couldn't believe the abundance and the freedoms right here in this country. And we have a bunch of overeducated white liberal fools are going to bring us back to the Stone Ages. It's insane. It truly is. Somebody else texted in, Bob, I must differ with you about Bernie Sanders. He may be stupid. However, he is dangerous, and I dislike him immensely because he's trying to take away my freedom and crush our republic. LTS says the Courier. Well, LTS, we're on the same page. I said I'd get a kick out of him. I don't like him anymore. Anybody who lies to me constantly, I can't do it. Like I'm looking at a Paige Cognetti commercial during last break, and she's lying about artificial intelligence. Her mentor, Governor Shapiro, all for it, and then comes here, all for it, tax breaks, the whole package, with Paige's acquiescence and agreement. And now they're against it because they realize people are against these AI centers, the data centers. It's crazy. Like, it's so phony. But remember, to support Paige Cognetti, you have to not be paying attention, number one, or you have to be dumb. So she's fooling the people who aren't paying attention and who are dumb. Willfully dumb, I might add. Because nobody is really stupid. That's my view. They're not really stupid. They're just doing what they think works for them. So supporting Paige, you can't be paying attention or you have to be dumb. All for the AI and the job and the future and technology, but I'm against it now because the people are against it. Wow. That's breathtaking. It really is. I mean, you want to be fooled by this phony taking corporate money, talking about Page against the machine when she is part of the machine. She's one of the main cogs of the left-wing lunatic machine. That's why they picked her to run, to be appointed to school board. And when it got hot, she quit. She had to make some tough decisions on the school board. She quit, ran away, literally, and then runs for mayor with support of the establishment, which is fine. A lot of them I really like. But that's who she answers to. She's not against the machine. She is the machine. What a phony. What a phony. 10:01 on the Ricardo Jewelers watch that tells me we got to go to the news with Brian Hughes. We'll do that and we'll come back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Great good morning, everyone. It's 10:07 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch. This beautiful Thursday, July 30th, a year of our Lord 20 and 26 here in the great Northeast and some other places as well, but we only care about here. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. It's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John. Like John McGlone, late of Virginia, but he was from Scranton. Keith Burridge, Bear Creek. Charles Alabaugh, he was from Wilkes-Barre, but he lived in Sunbury. Anthony Lusky, Bloomsburg. So, with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order after that brief news adjournment. Today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you who hearken here. So Rick Bigelow is going to be on next Thursday, and now he's making jokes on email. I will, he says that on advice of counsel, I will not be taking the Fifth Amendment. This is why I tell people like Rick and the Bulldog in particular, but Brian Hughes, I said, look, I tell the jokes around here during my program. You guys could do your corny stuff whenever you want, but I tell the jokes around here. And that's what we do. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. So Roach Supply is bringing you this program in living color. You guys remember that? They'd say, and now in living color, your television show. I guess that was what, a late 60s thing? Well, they're bringing in this program in living color on YouTube. Bob Cordaro Show, WILK. You'll find us. And you'll also see the little banner on the bottom, Roach Supply, celebrating 75 years in business. What do? They provide bath and kitchen. They do a lot of commercial and industrial plumbing stuff as well, but they're bath and kitchen specialists. And you could go to their stores in Honesdale or Chapman Supply in South Abington Township. Or you can go online, Roach Supply, ROCHE, roachsupply.com. And, yeah, you could see me smiling and whatever. I got my all-time great shirt on. My push-ups during the commercials, all that nonsense. But we're here. It's just another way to observe and enjoy the program. And a lot of you do, so that's a good thing. All right, let's go to the blower right away. Walter Griffith is on the phone. And there's a meeting tonight regarding the petition, and the petition against, I don't even know, what do we call this petition, Walter?
Well, this petition that we're circulating is a referendum petition to get the question on the ballot, so the people could repeal the anti-discrimination ordinance, the ridiculous piece of legislation that the council adopted on June 9th. But the meeting tonight is interesting because we had a meeting a week after they introduced this ordinance. A week after, it had a special meeting on a Thursday night. We had about 40 people show up for that meeting. They answered 0 questions, 0. 40 people that came there and spoke. They answered nothing. Now we're out circulating a petition. We're close to our deadline of August the 8th to get our signatures in to put the question on the ballot. All of a sudden now, at Tuesday night's meeting, we're going to have a press conference. We're calling it a press conference so we circumvent the Sunshine Law. We're going to have a press conference on Thursday night to answer all of everybody's questions about this ordinance now, all of a sudden. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. This council is so unhinged. They passed this ordinance. They copied and pasted everything from Lehigh County. Yeah. And I want to know when they're changing the name of Luzerne to Lehigh, because obviously we're mirroring everything that Lehigh's doing. And they're answering questions tonight from their group. So I encourage everyone in the county who's affected by this ordinance to come out tonight.
Well, everybody's going to be affected by it. Literally, everyone will be affected by it. They want to control your lives, your thoughts, and your words.
Right, and they're saying there's certain things in there that we're lying about when we're circulating, yet Tyler Myers, who's a gentleman who's out there circulating, read a section right out of their ordinance to the council last Tuesday night and asked them, does it not say that men can go in women's bathrooms in this section? And not one person on that council answered, not even Joanna Smith, who's an attorney on council who helped draft the ordinance, would not answer that question because that's clearly what that ordinance says. But they don't want to be identified as the socialist government that they're creating here in Luzerne County. That's what the whole problem is here. And they don't want the people to put it on the ballot so they can speak about what they're doing in their government.
Well, they've got to suppress our freedoms to speak and to act and to associate with who we want to associate with. They've got to restrict us because their policies fail and their policies are ridiculous. And all of their money, well, a majority of their money came from Washington, D.C. left-wing groups to elect county council members here in Luzerne County. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and even the fact that, they copied and pasted everything from Lehigh County's ordinance in there, but they did not copy and paste their human resources or human relations ordinance in the ordinance that they created. Every other county that they've used this ordinance for put the Human Relations Commission in the ordinance that was created, not Luzerne County. We created two separate ones. We created one ordinance for the human relations thing, and then we created another one for the exemptions and the protected classes and all that. We created two separate ordinances because they don't want people to know what's going on. And they also put in our ordinance, which is very interesting, that the judiciary of our county is exempt from this ordinance. That's specific in our ordinance that says now they didn't hear from the Kids for Cash apparently in this county, but you tell me the judiciary does not discriminate? Are you kidding me? Seriously, you're going to actually try to tell the people that in this ordinance? But they put that stuff in there. So everybody needs to come out tonight at 6 o'clock at the courthouse, at the council chambers. And if you have questions that you feel that we've lied to you as circulators, because clearly we have not, we've told you exactly what it says. If you feel that you've been lied to, you please come to the meeting tonight. And if you feel you've been lied to, tell us your name is on the petition, and we will be happy to scratch your name off of there if that's the case. But we did not lie to you in any fashion at all. What
tonight at 6 o'clock, we're at?
It's at the Luzerne County Courthouse in Luzerne County Council Chambers.
All right.
Come and ask your questions.
All right. Thank you, Walter. Thank you for
putting Bob. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you to you and all the people volunteering for this fight. It is
very welcome.
Important. It is critical.
It's our honor. It's our honor and pleasure to serve the people of this county, and that's what we're doing.
All right, my man. Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. And guess what? Guess who's on the blower? Well, here she is. We missed her. We love her. And she's back. Lorraine from Hazleton. How are you, my darling?
Hanging in.
All right. Good for you. Good for you.
God, I'm hanging in.
We have not heard one of your poems in so long that we were having withdrawal symptoms. I have to admit it on behalf of the audience.
Yeah, well, you could. I'm having withdrawal symptoms because you and Johnny don't come anymore.
I know. We haven't been there in a long time, but it is a long trip, and the Bulldog has limited time.
Oh, you could go down south to Florida and to the Bahamas or wherever the heck.
Do I get to have a vacation?
Well,
all right, Lorraine, you put a pool in your backyard, and I'll vacation. I will vacation at your house.
Oh, pool. You don't need a pool. When you have me, I'm more important than a pool. How about a pool hall?
I see you're wandering into puns here. So let's get back to business, which is poems.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. What do you got for us today?
Well, laughter in the midst of tears.
Oh, nice.
There were many times that I looked out my window and saw the sun shining very brightly. Then suddenly I took a second glance when I noticed it raining ever so lightly. In the midst of all our sunshine, we probably will experience a little rain. It may be in the form of loneliness. Then again, it could be a chronic pain. this can be part of that old cliche that we must accept the bad with the good. It isn't easy to put into practice. No one ever promised that it would. If you see the world through all of your tears, and it seems as though your life is full of sorrow, please ask our dear Lord for his help. You may then discover your laughter tomorrow.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you feeling? We had people praying for you that you were get better and back in the pink.
After I fell and then other stuff going on, it just seems as though I'm going to write a new poem. Instead of the beat goes on, Lorraine gets beaten on and on. Jeekers,
well, be careful down there. I'm telling you, I told you when I texted you, I watch for falls because they could cause so many problems. In fact, that's why I even do the lift and level commercial, because a lot of my neighbors, I'm walking Chauncey, and they've got these sidewalks that are very dangerous.
Yeah, the sidewalks where my house is dangerous because all I did was turn, but I must have banged into the table. I lost my balance, and I mean, my arm is still black and blue, and then another problem crept up. I tell you, it's like the blob. It creeps.
Well, be careful. Be careful, Lorraine.
We need you try,
hale and healthy.
Pardon?
We need you hale and healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
We want you well, and we thank you for the poem. We've got to take a commercial break right now, but great to hear from you.
Yeah, well, I made it my duty.
Well, good. People expect to hear from you. They do. You've got a job here.
Okay, well, I'm still waiting for the paycheck, and I'm still waiting for you guys.
All right. Well, Mark Mayer says hello.
Hello, Mark. I'll say fuzzy wuzzy.
For Mark. He loves that. He always got a kick out of it.
And my name's not Pete Rose either.
All right. Well, it's 10:20 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. Lorraine, thank you, my dear. We'll talk to you very soon, I hope.
So long now.
All right, darling. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. The Beatles, this date, 1968, they proved that they were using drugs. They worked on the overdubs, Murph tells us, for their hit Come Together. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. And, of course, Medicare. I'm on Medicare now. The jury's out as to whether it's great or not. We'll see. Meaning for me personally. But 1965. Signed the bill. And we've had it ever since. It's expanded. It is going bankrupt. We know that. Just like Social Security is. But nobody's doing anything about it. Because anytime you try to do anything, the Democrats in particular will demagogue you to death. They'll just demagogue everything. I mean, think of where the Democrat Party is, the Communist Party is, right now. They demagogue against exposing fraud. Just think of this. Think of how horrible the Democrat Party is right now. They demagogue against exposing fraud in government programs. It's beyond comprehension. Anything they do, I don't understand. I really don't. But I do in this sense. That's where their money comes from. Anything that's destructive of this country is supported by the billionaires who support them and people like Paige Cognetti. There's a reason the little twerp who runs some organization that promotes mutilation of children in the name of trans rights for kids. You can't be transsexual until you're fully sexual, literally. So this sick little bastard is raising money for Paige Cognetti because she's all in on that sickness. This is where they've descended to, but that's where the money comes from. And the Soros family have given her thousands of dollars. 2 of them maxed out, max contributions from the Soroses to Paige Cognetti. Just remember where she's getting her money from. Somebody points it out, asking, where is she getting all this money? I can't turn around without seeing a commercial. And somebody said I got a Paige, an unflattering name, but got a Paige flyer in the mailbox yesterday. Destroyed that trash immediately. Where is she getting all the money? Who does she owe? She owes the sick, twisted, evil left-wingers. That's who she owes. Oh, and she'll pay them back. She proved that with Fidelity Bank. She'll pay them back. They'll get every vote, every left-wing vote they could possibly get. Anything sick and twisted, she'll vote for it. Because she owes them. Oh, and she probably believes it, too. Somebody texts in, and the text is all broken up because of our system, not any fault of yours. Basically saying, get involved with your local government because local government affects us the most. Run for office, make sure you vote, all of that stuff. And thank you for pointing it out because that is important to remember. We talk about the federal government all the time, but how did the federal government become such an insane enterprise? Pushed up from local government. How did New York City become what it is? Pushed up from local government. Yeah. Yeah, and here it is. That's why every single ad I see for her, and it's only July, where did all that money come from? It came from the left-wing lunatics. It came from lunatic groups and groups, billionaire groups and billionaire families that hate America and are trying to bring about our destruction. Crazy. Good morning, Bob LTS. Send Paige back, I guess, to Oregon. She just needs to leave politics altogether, says Derek. Bob, Paige really got blasted at city council last night. They blasted buying the building next door to City Hall, and they just generally blasted everything she does, which is actually very little. Well, the City Hall purchase, the building purchase is insane. They should have, City Council, you should have gone against it. You should have said, we don't support it. She snuck it in under the three blind mice after they were leaving office, when they were lame ducks. Amazing. Somebody says, I have a brilliant sounding name for the show. The Bob and Bulldog Show. ALTS. Do you like that, Bulldog? Do I have to call it Bob and the Bulldog? But you don't have to put your headset on and everything. He goes through this whole thing because he doesn't. Why don't you have the headset on anyway? Why don't you have your headset on regardless, Bulldog? What's that about? What other things other than my show do you have to do? What other things are you doing? What are you doing? Crossword puzzles? What other things? Oh my gosh! All right. Well, no, I'm not going to call it the Bob and the Bulldog. It's not going to be Bob and the Bulldog. It ain't going to be. Thank you for the suggestion, though. You warmed his heart anyway. By the way, next Thursday, did I say this? Next Thursday, August 6th, we're going to have Rick Bigelow. And we may finish the Revolutionary War, but I don't want to give it short shrift. But he'll be on at 10 o'clock next Thursday, August 6th. And then that night, and I encourage you guys to attend because it is a beautiful, beautiful cause and group. The Providence Pregnancy Center has their cocktail party, bourbon, cigars, all that stuff. And I'm going to be there. I can't wait to go. I really can't wait to go. I love these people because they love children. They love life. Providence Pregnancy Center. Next Thursday, August 6th. And if you can't go, consider a small donation or a large one. We don't write off large donations either. But the Providence Pregnancy Center is helping young women in trouble deliver their babies, teaching them how to care for their babies, helping them take care of their babies, and it is a big deal. Providence Pregnancy Center next 6 to 9 next Thursday. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute brought to you, as always, dutifully, loyally, patriotically, by our man, John Basiliga, and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. Two of the best fine dining restaurants anywhere, and I mean anywhere. I've been around. A Terra 519, downtown Scranton. New chef, new menu. Incredibly affordable happy hour. And you get to check out and hang out in one of the most beautiful restaurants you will ever see. A Terra 519, 519 Linden Street, Scranton. And an old world take on the same incredible dining experience, the Stegmeyer Mansion. And they've got in their little library bar in that old Mary Stegmeyer Mansion, a gorgeous bar and the same affordable happy hour. You can hang out at a Terra and Stegmeyer and not break the bank. Charles Alabaugh. He was from Sunbury. We lost him July 7th. Cherished husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and friend. Born in Wilkes-Barre, Charles lived a life defined by service, dedication, and love for his community. He's survived by his loving wife, Rose, with whom he shared many beautiful years, 4 children, 2 stepdaughters, 14 grandchildren, and 18 great-grandchildren. Also surviving his sister. A proud veteran, Charles served this country with honor in the United States Navy, 1954 to 1957. He wasn't done serving us yet because he enlisted in the Air Force from 1957 to 1959. His services to others extended beyond his military career. He was maintenance supervisor at St. Michael's, St. Monica Catholic Church and School in Sunbury. He was awarded for his work and compassionate service to juveniles. He was a scoutmaster for Troops 304 and 307 in Sunbury. A Catholic lay minister because he had unwavering faith. 18 years he offered spiritual guidance at Northumberland County Prison in Sunbury. He further exemplified his Catholicism and devotion to the Catholic Church by his induction into the Knights of Columbus. A life of service. Charles Alabaugh. Our great veteran this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast. Today, partial sunshine with a shower. Humid, high 78. Tonight, a shower early, partly cloudy, low 60. Tomorrow, warmer with intervals of cloud and sun, high 86. On Friday, low 61. Saturday, shifting clouds and sun, high 88, low 69. Sunday, rather cloudy, not as warm, but it'll be humid. A thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots in the afternoon. 77 degrees Sunday, low 69. Monday, occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and humid. High 81, low 59. And that's your weather for the place where weather matters. Yeah, Montage and the great water park there. 70 degrees at Montage and the water park right now. Peter Frampton, Murph tells us this date, 1977. He moved up to number 2 with his hit, I'm In You. And I get a text from Murph during the program here, and when it's Murph, I gotta look at it. Our friend Tom Hallinan the father of the Bucktown Music Fest, is going to have somebody call in today to talk about the Sunday Bucktown Music Fest, which I'm dying to go to. I'm looking forward to it. Pop, Past Our Prime Band, will be there, and Mike Koitek will be there. My old high school classmate, one of the most talented musicians and performers you're ever going to see, literally. Murph might make an appearance on stage, and they are always events to be remembered when Murph does it. All right, let's go to the blower. We got Frank from Scranton. Frank, thanks for your patience, man. How are you?
I'm still trying to come out of the Peter Frampton bumper, man. That was just the best. That's one of the few songs I could actually sing because it was just there. Anyways,
nice.
Yeah, thanks. Sometimes you guys dig out of the groove yard some great stuff that you don't
Murph does his deal. Yeah.
Yeah, he does some good ones. Okay, so here we go. The Trojan horse, right? So, in regarding to this Page thing and the total cog, the massive Panzer tank of positivity through the media and the press and everything else, right? I think, Bob, the only way this could ever be stopped, because we know that Lackawanna County and northeastern Pennsylvania, certainly anything above DuPont, for sure, within Lackawanna County area, is so deeply Democratic that she could have a horn, a tail, spit fire, and decapitate a priest on Courthouse Square and still become amazingly elected, right?
Yep.
We know that. And it includes the council, the whole thing. It's never going to change, right? So what we're doing wrong is somebody's got to run as so liberal and so off the wall and so badly and present that presentation in such a level that these people just will be dripping at the corners of their mouth to vote for them and make themselves a Democrat, say they're a Democrat, do all of these things. And then when you get elected,
turn out to be normal.
Thing. Yes. And you know what?
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to flip them.
We should start pulling their act is right. That's actually a good idea, Frank. I like it.
Right. I've thought about that for a while now. It's the only way. Other than that, or you have some kind of Joseph Stalin purge, which, of course, we can't do. So there's no other way. It's just that. And what bothers me the most, and I know I'm going to run out of time and all of that, the problem that gets me the most is Rob Bresnahan. Forget about whether he did this or did that, which I don't think he has, or maybe he's a little stiff or his speech patterns is a little awkward, and he's not as fluffy and pretty and smelly and nice as maybe Page Against the Machine, right? But the guy really has delivered, and he is delivering.
Yes,
he can. If he goes, I mean, even Sleepy Cartwright did some things, right?
Yep.
This situation now, you got McCormick is the senator. He's from Bloomsburg, so they can kind of communicate together, work things. We can't lose this guy.
No, I agree.
Anyone who's listening. Luzerne County has that part of Luzerne County and part of Monroe has really got to come through, because we know what's going to happen here with Boy Billy and his boxes and the smoking of the write-ins. It's going to be bad. We know what's going to happen. So you could expect a 99% win.
I don't concede that, Frank. I don't concede that yet. I don't concede it yet because the water main break, just for one example, brought out the incompetence of Paige Cognetti in bas relief. And I think people are starting to feel it. I could be wrong, but
I rode around downtown last weekend for whatever reason, just for something to do. I went for a ride. And I was saying, what is going on down here? What has happened? And I realized that they were digging it up and making it look like San Francisco, or trying to make it look like with bike lanes and silly nonsense that's not relevant for this area. It's all feel-good, magical playbook laminated sheets. The thing is, even that was so botched, because if there's pipes under the streets that have been around since George Washington crossed the Delaware, why would you even begin to do that?
That's one of the things. That's one of the things they suspect could have caused at least the second water main break. Yeah, the construction.
But Bob, when you have WNEP, when you have 2822, when you've got the Scranton Times, it's so sickening the brainwashing is worse than North Korea. And as I say, the only way around this, really, in my opinion, is you've got to have a Trojan horse. Go in there, Mondami style. We're going to have Garrity's going to give free food away.
Yeah, pretend you're a left-wing Democrat, and then turn out to be normal. That would be
and then
refreshing.
Go in there and do the right thing. And
it's almost what
they say you lied.
At least as far as what he says, it's almost what Fetterman's doing, and it is really refreshing.
You know what? I and when he dressed up in a suit, he doesn't look too bad.
I know.
Yeah, I saw him when he talked to Fauci for a couple of minutes, and I thought, you know what? He doesn't look too bad in a suit. He should get more and do it. I mean, until he is kind of Eeyore-ish, but it is what it is. But anyways, the bottom line is, Bob, we got to go in there. We can't play fair. You can't play fair. These people are deranged, and I see one person on city council who I think might be one of us, but he can't be, and I think he's kind of doing that. So hopefully. Here's my big question.
Oh, there's some good guys on council right now. With the three blind mice, two of them gone, that just followed Paige Cognetti like slaves. The only one left is what's her name, Rothschild. So that's the only one left that's really ridiculous. But
I don't know about what's his name there, the president now. He's still kind of. I think they kind of pistol whip him after the cameras go off. But I think the Sean McAndrew might be okay. He's got. I mean, he's better than.
Well, both McAndrews are good. But they've got to stop this sale. They would have proven a lot to me if they stopped this white elephant purchase of the Fidelity Bank building. They would have really. I would have said, okay. They really aren't governing as though they're from one particular party.
No, and I agree with you, but I'm really at the point. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way. It's not. We're not going to be able to run and win in fairness. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm just talking about give them what they want at such a level that they can't refuse. And then when you go in there, do the right thing, and it won't matter to them anyways, because then they're going to see. You know what? This person's doing great. Look, they're fixing the roads. Yes. So that's my thoughts, Bob.
All right, Frank. I like it. Good idea. Thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. The police, Murph tells us this date, 1983, they had the number one hit with Every Breath You Take. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. And my man Tony Amico, our great mayor up in Troop, he says he's on the job site and the show was on. And he says a gentleman new to the area walked up and asked who you're listening to. He asked Tony, who you listening to? He said, it sounds like Rush Limbaugh. I said, well, his spirit may be living within him. I mean, that's beyond flattering. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it so much, Mayor. Mark Mayer, my man Mark Mayer, he liked that Frampton tune as well as Frank from Scranton. That wasn't my favorite Frampton deal, though. It wasn't. Anyway, somebody says, damn, you really have a blank for this woman, don't you? Meaning, talking about Paige Cognetti. Yeah, I've got a lot against her. And you know why? Because I live in Scranton, and I'm suffering under her. And I've watched her lie repeatedly about the pool, about how ARPA funds could be used, the COVID funds. I've watched her ram through hundreds, actually millions of dollars of consulting fees for people who are now supporting her congressional campaign. I watched her buy a building that Scranton doesn't need, and that's not even a subjective opinion. It's the factual truth. We don't need it. She's going to rent the building out. Oh, I'm buying a building because we can't fit in City Hall anymore. Well, where's your space utilization study? Well, we didn't do one. Oh, so you don't know if you're utilizing the space in City Hall properly, number one. Number two, you don't even need the building if you're renting it. And the police have their own headquarters. That was the fig leaf covering her political favor for her donors. It's a disgrace. And then says, I'm Page against the machine? That's the as bad backroom dealing as I've ever seen. Right in our faces. And then pretend she's virtuous. She's taking money from the Soros family. Now today we find out I won't take corporate PAC money. And she's taking corporate PAC money, but through other PACs. And I mean greedily taking it in. She's got $3.5 million in the bank and spending like a drunken sailor on her campaign. That reminds me so much of Kamala Harris, a left-wing lunatic that has no capacity to manage anything. And she'll blow through all that money with all negative ads, and Rob Bresnahan's going to beat her anyway. No, I despise her term in office. I don't know her personally. But I watch very closely as a city resident and for my job what a phony she is. So there you go. Bob, somebody texted in, I saw the hearing yesterday and had what Fauci got away with. What a despicable man. I'm so sorry I ever got the vaccine. I am too. What a scam on our nation. Can he be prosecuted for anything even though he was pardoned? LTS says Mountaintop. Well, we're going to see. Because the Florida Attorney General, and a number of you brought this up, including Tom from Dallas, yesterday, that couldn't a state prosecute him for costs related, and that's possible. We're going to see. Florida may try to do it through their Attorney General, and then the dam will break. The problem is most of the money, damages that would result or could result from that will come from us, the U.S. taxpayer. We'll see. Anyway, somebody says, yo, Bob, FYI, despicable Wendy. Yeah. the little left-wing lunatic that runs Page's campaign Wendy Wilson, came up with this Page Against the Machine. Yeah, because they love to lie. The Page Against the Machine BS. Turn the page. That's what we want to say. Turn the page. Get it over with. Let's get her out of our lives. Lisa's funny. My wife and I got our Republicans, but she got campaign mail from Page, even though I didn't. But my wife is a teacher, so I'm sure that's why she got it. Oh, unbelievable. And I mean, they will blow money. Somebody texted, Bob LTS, I come from a union background. LTS back at you, first of all. See, now, a union background, to me, like the legitimate real unions, not the teachers' unions, not public employee unions, but the real unions, people that work, are the backbone of the country, number one. But let me continue with his text instead of my thoughts. He says, which I am proud of and grateful for. It just saddens me that so many hardworking men and women like me stick with the left just to hate Trump and play gotcha politics when their party is literally being taken over by communists who don't appreciate them and just want their vote. Wake up, people, says the electrician. You're right. You're right. I guess Rob Bezahan made a joke about making a duck tank up in Scranton for the mayor. Yeah, we need to. Somebody said, only in Luzerne and Lackawanna County will we have a Rothschild on council. I've been staying for decades. Crime starts here. Remember painting red houses. Another, we know from Doge that the Dems are into bureaucracy and thus Page needing more space for government when there are less people in the city. But they don't even need it. They prove they don't need it. Another, Bob, don't be offending drunken sailors by comparing Page to them. Yeah. Another, and like Kamala Harris, when she loses the election, she will stop paying the outstanding bills for her campaign. Yep. Exactly. And by the way, people are saying, well, I want her to win for Congress, and they're saying this seriously. I want her to win for Congress so she stops being the mayor. Well, number one, she'll influence the appointment, and you're liable to get Jessica Rothschild as your mayor. It could get worse. That's number one. Number two, I promise you, she will resign as mayor about a month after claiming I've got to spend more time with my family. She doesn't want to be mayor. Running for mayor was only so she could do this. That's all. Believe me. She will resign from mayor after she loses. And we'll be rid of her. Somebody with an inside joke that I'm not going to relate on the air. Oh, and my gosh, I let the time fly. I should have been looking at my watch. 11:03 on the Picardo's watch. That tells me it's time for the news. And let's do that. The news with Brian Hughes. We'll be back. Yes, it does. It never ends with these left-wing lunatics. Great good morning, everyone. 11:08 a.m. on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This beautiful Thursday, July 30, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John. Like the late Charles Alaba of Sunbury, formerly of Wilkes-Barre. John McGlone, late of Virginia, but he was from Scranton. Keith Burridge, Bear Creek. And Anthony Lutsky, Bloomsburg. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order after that brief news adjournment, today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. And I remind you again, and I think most of you know, if you're a new listener, we'll inform you. The Club for Common Sense, we're not for a political party. Believe me, we're not. And I think of people like John Cornyn and Tillis, and there's a bunch of fools that are Republicans. It has nothing to do with party. It's common sense. That is what matters. And it isn't hard to figure out that which is common sense. If you want to, by the way. If you don't want to, well, that's another story. That's your problem. That's on you. And one of the ways you could check out the program is on YouTube. You go to YouTube, Bob Cordaro Show, WILK, and you'll see our friends from Roach Supply bringing it to you. My smiling, alternately smiling and scowling moon face. And Roach Supply, they are the premier bath and kitchen supplier. They've been around 75 years. 96-year-old Ron Roach still running the show. Generations working under him and with him. And they're great. You don't stay in business 75 years without being great. You've got to be fair. You've got to be honest. You've got to know what you're doing, and you got to get the job done. And that's Roach Supply, ROCHE, roachsupply.com, or go to their stores in Honesdale or South Abington Township under the name of Chapman Supply. All right, so I got yesterday, someone got in touch with me, and they pointed out to me that Pennsylvania, this little snake in his lift shoes and his miniature podiums to make him look taller. This is Shapiro, Page's buddy. And National Review is reporting that Pennsylvania's Medicaid program is covering elective abortions. So we're paying for someone's to kill a child. That's what we're paying for. Our tax dollars. He snuck it in. And on the blower right now, Kimberly Bird, we've talked to her before, with live action. And she's on right now. Kimberly, how are you? Welcome back to the Bob Cordaro Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bob. Doing well.
Tell us how this has happened right under our noses.
It's pretty unbelievable, and thank you again for having me back. So Pennsylvania now is just one of many states who offer state Medicaid dollars to cover elective abortions. There are at least 6 or 7 other states in the country that want to fund elective abortions. Now, many other states say, our Medicaid dollars aren't going to go to abortions, but Pennsylvania now is saying their Medicaid dollars will go, and I can explain to you how that works.
Please.
So, say an abortion is about $100. The full bill will be paid by the state of Pennsylvania, and then the federal reimbursement will come in of $57, a larger portion of the bill. But ultimately, Pennsylvania residents are paying $43 in state taxes and $57 in federal reimbursements. So essentially, they're burdening the entire cost of an abortion in the state of Pennsylvania, and that's just an example. It's unbelievable.
And I thought that Congress had passed a law under the first administration of Trump that had prevented this from happening.
Absolutely. It was, but it was changed under Biden. So we are working at Live Action. We're working with the administration as well as Congress in order to get the Protect Life Act put back in. There's also the Hyde Amendment, but that affects, federal reimbursement. So it is, it's troublesome, Bob, because we are continuing to try to get a defund of Planned Parenthood reinstated.
Yeah.
As a reminder to your listeners, Planned Parenthood was defunded for 1 year under the Big Beautiful Bill, but as of July 4th of this year, they started receiving those Medicaid dollars again. Once again, Planned Parenthood could end up receiving what they did in their last fiscal year, which is $832 million of taxpayer funds in order to commit abortions in our country.
Oh, my gosh. It is amazing. We have a song which opens the hour, and it's "The battle is over, but the war goes on." And it does. They will do anything, in this case, to kill babies. Like literally anything. Unreal.
They committed over 430,000 abortions last year in America. And, there are states, as I mentioned, who have successfully banned Medicaid dollars going to abortion services, states like Arkansas, Missouri, South Carolina, Texas. But the key is that there is no billing code for Planned Parenthood reports. So you can't tell if it's going to an abortion service, or now they are the leading provider of cross-sex hormones. So now the state could also be providing federal funding and state funding to help trans our minors. And I mean, it's unreal, it's evil, and it needs to end.
Planned Parenthood is just downright evil. It's unbelievable. They're evil. And taxpayers are funding them.
Absolutely. Wow. And I really think it's important for taxpayers to reach out to their, not just federally, right? We want to reach out to our senators and our congressmen and women, but we need to reach out to our state lawmakers. And Live Action is working hand in hand with each group of state lawmakers to ensure that this Medicaid funding ends in these states. But it's important to reach out, because you need to let them know you do not want your taxpayer funds, whether it's your taxpayer dollars, whether it's in your state or, your federal dollars, to go to abortion or trans services.
It is insane. Kimberly Bird's our guest. She's a Live Action spokeswoman, and she's letting us know that Medicaid dollars in Pennsylvania are covering elective abortions and just as badly child mutilation, pharmacological and otherwise, from Planned Parenthood. Wow. I'm stunned.
It's heartbreaking to think about. Not only is Planned Parenthood committing abortions, offering cross-sex hormones often to minors, but they are also the number one provider of public sex ed. And they are, trying to infiltrate into our children early on, promiscuity and immorality, so that they end up becoming a customer of Planned Parenthood. So, it's a long game for them. And you're right. Ultimately, they do want abortions to increase.
Kimberly Bird, thank you so much for being with us. Live Action is your group, and keep us updated on this. I'm happy you guys reached out to come on the program today, because it's something I did not know, and now that I know it, we are forearmed. I appreciate it.
It hits home when it's in your own state, right? Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you. And if how does Planned Parenthood get away with not coding what it's doing? Everybody else has to code. Every doctor's office that you go to, every hospital that you go to has to code what is the procedure in order to get reimbursed. Planned Parenthood does not. What kind of evil is behind that evil? Wow. Hey, let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, 1118 on my Picardo's watch. We'll come back. Andrew from New Jersey texts in. He says, the irony is Obama received an award from Planned Parenthood for supporting late-term abortions. The irony is as a black man, he would not exist if Planned Parenthood had their way, because it was started by Margaret Sanger in order to limit or eliminate the black race. Correct. This is how stupid these people are. This is how scary they are. My gosh. Well, an eye-opener and something now we know. Again, Shapiro, wolf in sheep's clothes, trying to pretend he's normal. No, he's a lunatic. He's a left-wing lunatic. When I think about that kind of disgusting nonsense and Planned Parenthood, I try to go to something great and good, and that's Mother Teresa, St. Teresa, for July 30th. She says, serve God joyfully. Let there be no sadness in your life. The only true sorrow is sin. St. Teresa, Mother Teresa, for today. And thank you to Mary Regina, as always, getting it to us. So there's a fundraiser for Reagan Carney, and Kelly Laird is on the phone to tell us a little about it. We'll talk about something else that is good. Kelly, let us know. Tell us what it's all about, what it's for, when, and all of that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So we are teaming up. Ballet Theater of Scranton. Reagan is a former student of ours. So when we heard what happened, she's courageously battling cancer. We decided to team up with Bucktown Music Fest this Sunday, August 2nd at 5 p.m. to do a fundraiser for her. So we have more than 50 basket raffles from all sorts of community partners. We're going to have a bake sale and a 50-50, all taking place at Music Fest.
At the Bucktown Music Fest. How about that? That's great. Tell us a little bit about Reagan Carney, would you?
Yeah, so Reagan Carney was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. She just graduated from high school, so we are trying to assist her as she battles this terrible diagnosis.
How long has she been diagnosed?
Few months. Not very long. It's all very new.
Oh. Well, I'm going to be there Sunday. I'll certainly make a contribution. And it's so nice of you to be doing this. And what a great place to do it, because it's a good crowd. It's a generous crowd at the Bucktown Music Fest. So that's good stuff. And my man Murph might be performing, which is that's a cherry on top.
Yes, and Dunmore really does support its own, so we're very grateful for that. And we are lucky that this event is rain or shine. So if the weather forecast is bad, we will be moving it to La Bonavita. They have graciously accepted us to go there instead, so we still will have the event regardless of weather.
Oh, nice. So this is Sunday at the Bucktown
Sunday,
Music
August
Fest.
2nd.
The rain location will be at La Bonavita. Great.
Yes, and they will announce that on the Bucktown Music Fest Facebook page.
All right, well, don't hesitate to call again later in the week, okay? Because we want to remind people of this. It's a big deal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly Laird, regarding a fundraiser for Reagan Carney. You hear about a young person getting cancer, and you just doesn't it just strike all your heartstrings at once? Really something important. All right, let's go to the blower. We got Laureen Cummings on. How are you, Laureen?
Oh, I'd be better if we didn't have to deal with Shapiro anymore.
I'm telling you, we've got to get Stacey Garrity across the line, and she's within striking distance. That's the important part for people to remember. This is not a foregone conclusion.
Yes, there is hope, and I'm so happy to hear that. This is an election year, not just for Stacey Garrity. For every state representative that is out there listening to your program, they've got to get on this, because nobody wants this abortion nonsense anymore, and they don't want to pay for it, and they certainly don't want to pay for sterilizing young children. I mean, that's outrageous. That's just the most crazy thing I've ever seen happen in our country. And it's I
knew Planned Parenthood was evil, and now I know it is even worse than that, because they're into the trans mutilation of children. In addition to trying to kill everything and sell body parts and everything else they do. That's disgusting.
It's insane. And, I would like to know the list of, where was that? That's Live Action that does that. Do they have a list of state representatives that helped him get this passed, or no?
Well, you'd have to check their website, I guess. Live Action. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But it may have been done administratively. That's my guess. But I could be wrong, but I think that's my guess.
Well, we'll have to find out. I'll look further into it, and I'll get back to you. But I'm going to fight this tooth and nail. So thank you so much for having them on.
Thank you, Lorraine. Appreciate it so much. Let's go to Andrew from Jersey. I read one of your comments, but you're calling about the vaccine and Fauci. Fire away.
Yeah. Also, I picked up on other lies that he told. I know he told multiple, but he went in D.C. once on like a tour in a black neighborhood, and it was like a lead balloon. People were all over him.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, idiots. Yeah.
And he said, the man said to him, "It hasn't been tested long enough." And he said, "No, it's been 20 years." No, he's referring maybe to the technology. It's been around for 20, but the particular vaccine was not tested for 8 to 10 years. So that would be like saying, well, if you took a traditional vaccine, that technology has been around for decades. Yes, but if you didn't test it for that 8 to 10 year period, and also Dr. Burke, I saw her reactions on the news, and she lied also. She said, well, going forward, we have to be more prepared. Like, for example, the hospitals were overrun. No, they weren't overrun. and the nurses
most of
were
the
doing
stuff they
TikTok
made up.
dances.
Remember, we went Operation Warp Speed, invoked the Defense Manufacturing Act, and produced more ventilators than, and they none of them were needed.
And the chef came. It was Raskin, the sleazy guy. He said, "Well,
scum.
It was so bad. The SS Mercy came in, and Javits said, yeah, but they turned out they didn't even really need those facilities." Correct. And lastly, too, they said, well, just 2 weeks or 30 days to stop the spread, which I went along with because I thought the facilities would be overrun, but it turns out they weren't. And also, when the virus spreads, it's not just negative; it's positive and negative, because then people develop an immunity. And he lied about the masks, which seemed minor because he said, well, he wanted it for the medical. But if he lies about that, then going forward, you can't trust him about anything.
No, he is slime. He helped cause this disaster. He broke the law by the executive order of Barack Obama that did not allow gain-of-function research by paying someone who then passed the money to the Wuhan Institute. He broke the law right out. It's not even close call.
But it was,
never mind that. Then you got a series of lies, most of which were intended to cover up what he had done in terms of the funding.
It was worth it for him because he got to meet Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. These diaries are. I'm telling you, if people don't wake up to what a scumbag Fauci is with the release of these diaries, then you just write them off, because then they don't even use their brains.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. 11:30. I'm at Picardo's watch. By the way, a Spotlight PA is also reporting and repeating the article I told you from Notice, a nonpartisan news organization, that Paige Cognetti's taking corporate PAC money through other PACs so that she can continue her lie that she takes no corporate PAC money. This phoniness, this sickening phoniness, and the lying, people have to vote against it. Even if you're a Democrat, you have to vote against her because she's a liar and a phony. Wow, it's breathtaking. Really is. 11:31. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute brought to you today by our man John Basiliga. Well, he does it every day because he loves his veterans. He loves his country. And he loves Northeast Pennsylvania. Today, it's Thursday, so we start talking about the weekend and maybe even tonight. And that means Basiliga Hospitality. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. The Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. Fine dining, the best. At the Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. Amazing event space as well at the Mary Stegmeyer Mansion. A Terra 519, as good as it gets. New menu, new chef, new prices, and a great happy hour that is eminently affordable at a Terra 519. And guess what? You want to check out Sergey's? No cover charge tonight on Thursdays. Check it out. You're just gonna love the space and love the hang. It's a great place to be. Anthony Lutsky. He was 93. He was from Bloomsburg. We lost him July 25th. Born in Mount Carmel, he was a proud veteran who answered his country's call to service when he was drafted in the United States Army in 1951 at the age of 18. He honorably served as a military police officer during the Korean War, a service he carried with pride throughout his life. In 1956, Anthony married the love of his life, Rita. Together, they shared more than 51 years of marriage until she passed away in 2007. Their enduring love and devotion created a strong foundation for their family, and Anthony is survived by his 3 children. He's a proud grandfather of 4, great-grandfather of 5. Anthony Lusky began working in a quarry in New Jersey before pursuing his entrepreneurial dream and establishing his own construction business here in Pennsylvania. He was known for strong work ethic, determination, and dedication to providing for his family. This proud veteran was a member of the American Legion Post 273 for more than 40 years. His unwavering love for his family, dedication to his country, his hardworking spirit, and quiet strength and integrity touched the lives of many. The family wants to extend their thanks to a devoted caregiver, Evelyn, who watched over him during an illness. Our veteran this hour, Anthony Lutsky. Brought to you by our man, John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the great gang at Montage Mountain Resort, where the water park is in full swing. A great place to hang out, too. Today, partial sunshine with a shower, humid, high 78. Tonight, a shower early, partly cloudy, low 60. Tomorrow, warmer with intervals of clouds and sunshine, 86 degrees tomorrow, Friday. Perfect water park day, low 61. Saturday, shifting clouds and sun. I'm not quite sure what that means. High 88, low 69. Sunday, rather cloudy, not as warm, but it'll be humid on Sunday. Thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots in the afternoon. High 77, low 69. Monday, occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and humid. High 81, low 59. And that's your weather, brought to you by the gang at Montage Mountain Water Park, where it's 71 degrees right now. Doesn't it? It always feels good when Tina Morocco's on. She is Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International Realty, Naples, Florida. You could reach her at Sotheby's in Naples or go direct, Tina Morocco, Muracco, TinaMorocco.com, or on any social media. Tina Morocco is your trusted guide to Florida real estate, specializing in Southwest Florida. Hi, Tina. How are you today?
Hey, Bob. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I like this back-to-back day thing. I do. I mean, you bring the sunshine every day.
I'll keep you entertained.
Yes, without doubt. Well, what do you got today? You're going to surprise me, I know.
I am. I've got something special for you today. Every day, but yeah,
Yes,
especially special.
That's right.
So let's talk about, we've talked about shelling in Southwest Florida and how famous Sanibel is for shelling. But today I want to talk about something different that was new to me when we came down to Florida, and that was shark tooth hunting.
Huh.
So
yes, you did surprise me.
yeah. So we have these people that are really into shelling, but we also have people that are looking for shark's teeth on the beach. And I'm not talking about sharks that are, great white sharks or anything like that. I'm talking about fossilized shark's teeth. Now, these are megalodon shark's teeth that are in Southwest Florida, and these are huge teeth. They're about, from like 2 inches to probably 6 or 7 inches. They're big.
Wow.
And they're usually black. Yeah. And so, believe it or not, Venice, Florida, is especially famous for this. You can really find a lot of fossils there. And these sharks were huge. I mean, I was just looking up online, like a 2-inch shark's tooth means that the shark was 20 feet. A 3-inch shark's tooth meant that the shark was 30 feet. But, I mean, can you imagine? These are like the size of school buses, these sharks. But it's just something interesting. And we really have a lot of people in the Venice area, Venice Beach and, in that Lemon Bay area that are looking for shark's teeth. And it's really something cool. You can buy them in the stores, too, around there. But it's just something different that, you don't necessarily think of when you're thinking of walking the beach.
Yeah.
But you might find them, and it's just something interesting to take back as a souvenir or really start a collection of.
I think it's better it'd be more interesting than a seashell. It really would.
Yeah.
How about that?
Especially, I mean, the big ones are fascinating. But yeah, if you want to look up Venice shark's teeth, I mean, it's just, there's really a segment of people that are really dedicated to finding these and making even jewelry out of them and artwork out of them. But it's interesting. But Venice is just about an hour north of Fort Myers. I know we have a lot of listeners that love the Venice area and are familiar with the Venice area. Real estate there is really very similar price point wise to Fort Myers. Venice has a really cute downtown, beautiful beaches, and they also have golf communities, gated communities, 55 plus communities. So just a similar price point to Fort Myers. I have a couple colleagues that work in the area, so if anybody's interested in Venice, feel free to reach out to me. I can definitely hook you up with some great agents up there.
That's neat. And yeah, there are so many, as we've been discovering, so many great areas. I think most of them equally great. Everyone would enjoy them the same, no matter where they landed. But it's important to know how to get there, and what are the pitfalls? What are the pitfalls? Yeah,
definitely, and the benefits.
Yeah, and the benefits.
The pitfalls and the benefits of each.
Like shark teeth.
Yeah, shark teeth.
Thank you, Tina. We appreciate it very
Absolutely.
much. I didn't think you could. I didn't think you could come with something unique. You did it again. All right. Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International Realty, Naples. You could reach her at Sotheby's in Naples or Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com. She'll spell the deal out for you, and she is your trusted guide to Florida real estate and, of course, specializing in Southwest Florida. Thanks, Tina.
You're welcome, Bob. Take care.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Biden banner disgrace. Day 227. The Green Ridge Neighborhood Association famously, falsely, and corruptly put a Joe Biden hometown hero banner at the end of North Washington Avenue, past Marywood University. They found out these were only dedicated to veterans, and Joe Biden did not serve. When this was brought up to them, they voted 10-5 to keep it up anyway. Now, Joe Biden, in his own words, in a recent appearance, he said, I'm from Baltimore. Nothing about Scranton. So we have stolen valor and stolen hometown. The Green Ridge Neighborhood Association is disgraced completely. Day 227. Take the banner down. Somebody texted in, here's the issue. And by the way, these are the kind of pea-brains that put up a Biden banner and then don't take it down when they find out they're not only wrong, but Biden says he's from Baltimore. That shows you what level of idiocy in the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association. Certainly the majority of it. Now, somebody's texted in, here's the issue. The evidence against Fauci is so overwhelming that people can't believe it. And they don't. Same with Cognetti. So obvious that sleepy voters deny it. You're right. Because it's so thorough. Their wrongdoing, their foolishness, their left-wing ideology is so bad that people don't believe it. That is a component of it. There's no doubt about it. Somebody else on the COVID, there's a lot of evidence showing most people did not need ventilators during COVID. And the ventilators did, in fact, cause deaths because of infections. That's why they stopped using them so rapidly after demanding more in the early days. Oh, they made every mistake. Every mistake. Somebody says, I mean, we could have taken horse dewormer or inject ourselves with disinfectant, right? No, there were treatments, including ivermectin. 11:50, I'm at Ricardo's Watch. Love this song. The Blues Travelers. Murph tells us this date, 1995, they had the #1 hit with Runaround. Love that song. Bob Cordaro back. And, of course, remember this. We got to get to a call or two now, but we're going to finish with The Ventures because Murph tells us on July 30th, 1968, they recorded their great instrumental, Hawaii 5-0. Gary from Mill City. How are you, Gary?
Good, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. We're talking about Fauci.
Yep.
Well, right after COVID came out, within the first week, the wet market myth was put to rest when that wet market didn't even have bats in it.
Yep.
And that is when I said it's a fraud. Luckily, thank the good Lord, me, nobody in my family, my children, grandchildren, wife, none of us got the shots. Didn't believe it. It's also on record, probably a month or two into COVID, that Moderna and Fauci had emails where, I believe it was on December 19th of 19, where they had emails where Moderna's vaccine was almost ready. So obviously this was planned. I don't know all the questions that our senators asked yesterday and got the Fifth Amendment. We already know the answers to all of them.
Yep, we
do. It was another show trial. I called our state's attorney general months ago. I've called a few times and asked why Fauci isn't prosecuted at the state level. It could be class action, all Republican attorney generals. The man's a murderer, a mass murderer. He did it for profit. I am sure there are emails with Fauci and the leaders of the pharmaceutical companies that also knew it was a farce. And how come none of them are in front of Congress? Or maybe they have been, maybe I didn't see it.
Well, here, the other thing is this, very important to note. Fauci not only made a ton of money off of all of this nonsense, but he lie after lie after lie regarding the cover-up of funding it. It's insane.
This man should have been in jail before COVID ever happened with his experiments, breaking the law, funding things.
Yep.
They moved that research from our country when it was outlawed to China. We had United States, America's professors from different colleges over there helping them set up the lab. There's a lot of people guilty in this.
No doubt.
And you cannot live in a country where our officials are above the law. They're getting rich. The large majority of them are thieves. Our trade deals, our pharmaceuticals that we were paying more than anybody in the world.
And and Trump's getting crucified along with Musk for uncovering this. I said the Democrat Party is now the party that vociferously defends fraud. It's nuts. Gary, we got to go. I got to take one more call before we go.
Bob.
Thanks, man. Mario in Sayersville. How are you, Mario?
Good. How are you, buddy? Love your show.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so first of all, I want to personally thank you for all you do informing and supporting the people in this area. There's going to be a small group of Republicans working an event to give a last chance to sign the petition against the discrimination ordinance in Luzerne County. This event is going to take place this Sunday, August 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Tough Techs Complex, located at 1325 North River Street in Wilkes-Barre. A friend of ours, Pat Musto, has allowed us to use his parking lot. Now people can drive through and sign the petition without getting out of their car. Or they can park and walk up to our tent and sign the petition that way.
I love that you guys are spending your time to do this. It's very important. People don't realize how important. I said, even if the anti-discrimination ordinance was not insane, it's unconstitutional. Much of it is illegal, and the lawsuits are going to cost the taxpayers a fortune.
Yeah, that's so right. I'm so glad you're bringing that up. You know, I just want to keep going here. There will be a hot dogs and soda there. America, the elephant mascot, will be there. So come out to this last major event before all the signatures are due. We are going to have to get more signatures than are required because they will probably throw some out.
Yes. And Mario, don't hesitate to call in tomorrow, any one of you guys, to remind us about this event, all right?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate what they're doing. This is citizen involvement that is very important. Hey, while we're thinking of Dano and McGarrett, we got to go. It's going to be noon in a second on my Picardo Jewelers watch. There it is. So we've got to gavel to a close today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, telling you that, God willing, I'll be back tomorrow to go on the attack once again. Have a great afternoon, guys.